So, good afternoon, everyone. The subject is professional conduct and ethical standards. What comes into your mind when you hear the word ethics? So, ethics is defined as the science of morality of human acts and rational human behavior. It is stated that the science of morality. When we say science, it is the body of knowledge. And when we say it is rational human behavior, it is the ability to determine what is right and wrong. So, ethics is the collection of principles and guiding principles of a group. Next, morals. When we say morals, it pertains to the character and behavior from the point of view of right and wrong. So in short, morals is the own point of view on how to apply ethics. Letter C. It is a person who values or follows good conduct even in the absence of religion we call them moralist. Letter D. A principle or quality that is intrinsically desirable. We call it values. When we say intrinsically, it is essential. So letter A, the next is the 6 core moral values. We have number 1, love of God. Love of God, give God what is due Him and develop the moral virtue of religion through adoration, prayer, and obedience. Number 2, respect of authority. Treat freedom with a sense of self-determination and personal responsibility as a social being, exercise intelligently obedience. Number 3, selfless love of people. Respect human life, respect the human body, and learn to give oneself and to love. Selfless love of people means give love but don't expect to be loved back. And love others before yourself. Pangalawa ka lang. Mas uunahin mo yung ibang tao kaysa sa sarili mo. Number 4, chastity. Respect the dignity of human sexuality by practicing chastity in marriage through sexual love that is romantic, procreative, exclusive, and lasting, or if unmarried by having no experience of sexual pleasure. Number 5, responsible dominion over material things. Should not be dominated by it and should share it with his fellow men, bearing in that mind that the material world is limited. In short, contented on what you have. Number 6, truthfulness. Never telling what is not true, untruth, because it destroys the foundation of social life which is based on mutual trust. Truthfulness. Huwag kang magsisinungaling. As a law enforcement, dapat ikaw ay maging honest sa trabaho mo at sa organization nyo. And untruth means sometimes it goes with to protect someone or cover someone from shame, which is sometimes nangyayari sa loob ng organization, which is dapat mawala na yun kasi hindi yun maganda. Nakakasira yun sa image ng isang organization at pati na rin sa image ng isang tao. Next is the 6 core work values. Kung kanina 6 core moral, ngayon naman core work values. Number 1, industriousness. What a person wants to, looks for, keep busy, and strives to work well. As a law enforcement officer, masaya ka sa trabaho mo, masaya ka sa ginagawa mo, at ginagawa mo yun ng buong puso at with effort. Number 2, sense of responsibility. What a person does is independent on him and he puts his will and intellect to his job, creativity, initiative, and is held accountable for it. Sense of responsibility is walang nagsabi sa'yo na gawin mo to, gawin mo yan, tulungan mo siya, tulungan mo yun. Kahit na walang nagsabi sa'yo na gawin mo yun, Sabi nga dito, initiative. Ikaw na mismo yung kusang gagawa nun na kahit na walang nag-utos sa'yo. Number 3, order, sense of time. Prioritize the use of time, values his time, first things first. In short, time management. Number 4, collaboration. Fosters teamwork and solidarity for unity. Sa madaling salita, coordination. Number 5, determination. A person possesses qualities of perseverance, patience, and strength to cope with obstacles, difficulties, and trials. Yung halimbawa dito is yung sa 44. Meron silang determination para sumabak sa gera kahit na alam na nila na buhay nila yung kapalit nun. Basta ang mahalaga, masave nila yung mga tao, masave nila yung community. Number 6, service. Performing duties or work for another, a person or an institution that brings about benefits or result. In short, giving commodities to others. So next is the basic concepts on police ethics. We have 5 characteristics of a police officer's job. Number 1, the uniform. The uniform identifies his or her status as a police. Uniform, yun yung sign para makilala mo na pulis siya or civilian siya. Number 2, power. The uniformed police officer with a sidearm, baton, citation book, and other trappings of office is a walking symbol of government power. Number 3, the working hours, the rotating shifts. We have 3 kinds of shifts. Number 1, morning. Number 2, afternoon. Number 3, midnight. The number 1 is morning, which is the dog watch. Number 2, afternoon, it is called the swilling shift. And number 3, midnight, which means graveyard. And number 4, the danger. Law enforcement have to deal with truly crimes-related incidents, especially crimes in progress. And still, officers must always be vigilant and ready because they never know when that big call will come that will require every ounce of knowledge and skills for them to survive. So number 5, the dirty work. The police deals with dead bodies, crimes, crime victims, criminals, automobile accidents, and other aspects of society that most of us would rather not to think about. Yung dirty work, yung tinutukoy dito is yung mga pag-rescue sa mga accident, yung paghahanap sa mga nawawalang katawan, yung mga tinapon, ganun. Dirty work kasi, yun nga, kailangan mong mag-rescue, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na ay hindi ako pupunta kasi accident yan, patay na katawan yan. Hindi yun pwede kasi as a law enforcement officer, trabaho mo yun at kailangan mong gawin yun ng yung bang parang walang takot, ganun ba? In some addition, here are some definitions of terms. Number 1, neglect of duty or nonfeasance is the failure to perform an act which one is obligated or permitted to do either by law or directive due to omission or failure to recognize the obligation. Nonfeasance means you did not do your job as a police officer. Number 2, irregularities in the performance of duty or misfeasance is the improper performance of some act which might lawfully done. A while ago, nonfeasance, you did not do your job as a police officer. In misfeasance, you did your work as a police officer but there's something wrong. Number 3, Malfeasance is the intentional commission of the prohibited act or intentional unjust performance of some act of which the party had no right. Malfeasance, alam mo na ngang mali, ginawa mo pa. Kung kanina, nonfeasance, hindi mo ginawa yung trabaho mo. Misfeasance, ginawa mo yung trabaho mo, pero may mali. Dito naman sa malfeasance, alam mo na ngang mali, prohibited, ginawa mo pa. Number 4, misconduct is the wrongdoing or violation of departmental procedures. Misconduct, in short, it is out from conduct. Number 5, incompetence is the manifestation of lack of adequate ability and fitness for the satisfactory performance of police duties. This has reference to any physical and intellectual quality, the lack of which substantially incapacitates one to perform the duties of the peace officers. It is stated that manifestation of lack of adequate ability, which means it fails to meet the standard. Number 6, oppression. Oppression, an act of cruelty, severity, unlawful execution, domination, or excessive use of authority. The exercise of the unlawful powers or other means in depriving an individual of his liberty or property against his will is generally an act of oppressions. Karamihan dito sa oppression is yung mga victim is yung mga mahina or the weak person. Oppression is the abuse of the power. And we have number 7, the dishonesty. Dishonesty is the concealment of distortion of truth and matter of fact relevant of one's office or connected with the performance of his duties. Dishonesty is yung parang hindi mo pagsasabi ng katotohanan or yung tinatago mo yung katotohanan. We have number 8, disloyalty. Disloyalty to the government consists of abandonment or renunciation of one's loyalty to the government of the Philippines or advocating the overthrow of the government. In number 9, violation of law. Presupposes conviction in court of any crime or offense penalized under the revised penal code or any special law or ordinance. Number 10, corruption. Corruption is forbidden acts involving misuse of office gain. Forbidden means pinagbabawal. And here are some types of corruption in the PNP. Number 1, case fixing. The subject imposition of the penalties or downright sabotage of the investigation process in exchange for money or other things for personal gain. Case fixing is nangyayari ito sa kapag may investigation. Like finishing the investigation with the exchange of money. Letter B, bribery. Bribery is the receipt of cash or a gift in exchange for past or future assistance in avoidance of prosecution. In short, bribery is the exchange of favor. Tinulungan ka ng isang opisyal para makapasok sa PNP. Pero dumating yung araw na siya naman yung nangangailangan. At alam mo sa sarili mo na yung opisyal na yon ay may ginawang maganda sa'yo. Siya yung tumulong sa'yo para makapasok sa PNP. Then, naalala mo yun. Kaya, pwede mong, yung pagtulong niya sa'yo noon, may kapalit. At yung kapalit na yun ay takpan mo yung maling gawain ng isang opisyal na yun na tumulong sa'yo noon. Na sa totoong buhay, nangyayari yun sa PNP organization. Extortion. Extortion, the common practice of holding a straight court. Ito they are using threat or they are using force to threaten someone. Letter C, we have protection. The taking of money or other rewards from vice operators or from legitimate companies operating in illegal in return for protecting them from law enforcement activities. This protection mostly happens in illegal businesses. There's an agreement between the two parties that they will protect each other. Letter D, recycling. The use or sale of confiscated items in evidence, usually drugs or narcotics. Halimbawa, yung motor na nahuli mo, yung may-ari hindi na niya kayang balikan yung motor. So, yung ginawa mo is, benenta mo yung motor, kaya yung bayad kinuha mo. Bakit kaya nasabing recycling? Kasi, yung nahuli mo, benenta mo sa ibang tao. Lastly, we have the internal payoffs. The sale of work assignments, day offs, holidays, vacation periods, and even promotions. Inside the office, you are selling your vacations. Binibenta mo yung day off mo, yung assignment mo, binebenta mo na, bigyan mo ng pera para iba na lang yung gumawa sa assignment mo or yun, pinababayaran mo yung mga offs mo. Number 11, favoritism is the unfair breaks to friends or relatives. This is in short, you're favoring someone. So number 12, rotten apple, are either weak individuals who have slipped through screening process or the temptations inherent in police work or deviant. Ito yung persuasive unorganized corruption. Why? It's because it is stated are either weak individuals. So that means rotten apples, mag-isa lang siya. Pero pag sinabing rotten packet, kabaliktaran yun. Rotten packet is the work as a group. Rotten apple, mag-isa lang siya. Pero pag rotten packet, they work as a group. Kaya ang dapat gawin nila sa rotten packet na to, if they have known someone na ganun, dapat maalis na sa service para hindi na hintayin pang mahawa pa yung iba. So we have number 13, deviance. Deviance is a behavior inconsistent with the norms, values, or ethics. When we say deviance, ito yung naiba. It is the illegal act violation of ethics. And we have 7 types of police deviance. Letter A, police gratuity is the receipt of free meals, service, or discounts. It is the free service. Letter B, chiseling is when an officer is quiet, blatant, and about demanding free service. Demand. And we have letter C, police shakedown is when the police officer extorts a business owner for protection money. It is the combination of extortion and protection. Letter D, police perjury is usually a means to effect an act or corruption, leaving out certain pertinent pieces of information in order to fix a criminal prosecution. Perjury means ito yung pagsisinungaling. Gawin mong mali yung report para palayain ng isang kriminal. Yung katotohanan is gawin mong kasinungalingan. Letter A, police brutality is defined as the excessive force, name-calling, sarcasm, ridicule in this respect. It is the overusing of power. It is the emotional torture, mostly in psychological aspect. In letter F, we have police profanity refers to the use of obscene and profane language. As a law enforcement officer, dapat maingat ka sa pagsasalita mo. Dapat kapag galit ka, kailangan mong siguraduhin na yung ilalabas mong mga salita is hindi masakit. Kasi minsan yung mga ibang police officer nagagalit, yun, nagsasalita na sila ng mga bad words. And lastly, we have the misuse of confidential information. This normally involves the jeopardization of ongoing investigations by linking information to friends, relatives, the public, the press, or in some cases, directly to the criminal suspects or members of their gang. And also we have the 6 on duty or duty related. We have 6. Number 1, traffic stops. To get closer, look at the female or information about her. This means na nilalapitan ang mga babae para makakuha ng information. Number 2, fox hunting. Stop college girls to get the I'll do anything routine. When we say fox, it means girls. Number 3, voyeurism, window peeping or interrupting lovers lane couples. Ito, window peeping tone. Isang or voyeurism, or we call it the sharpshooter. And number 4, victim recontacts, consoling victims who have psychological needs. Ito yung taking the opportunity or taking advantage sa taong sa consoling victims who have psychological needs. And number 5, the opposite seek strips searches, touching and or seeks with jail inmates. And lastly, number 6, sexual shakedown, letting prostitutes go if they perform sex acts. This means allowing prostitutes to do their job.